Hi everybody, and welcome to Victoria's Creations. So today we are going to learn how easy the granny square is. So in order to do the granny square, you're going to first chain 6. So you're going to put your slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, 6. Now, with 6 chains, you're going to now connect them, and you guys know me, I love to work in the back, so I'm going to put my hook in that little hoop in the back, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull it through with a slip stitch, and now I have a circle. Now the next step is going to be chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to double crochet into the circle that you just made. Okay, kind of hold on to that tail just the best you can. Sometimes it can get a little difficult. So we are creating the base for our granny square. So we're going to start off by making our 4 corners. So we're going to, our first set of chains here counts as a double crochet, and then we 2 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This gives us our first corner. So now we're going to go back into that same hole, and we're going to double crochet 3 more times. 1, there's the official one. Well, if I can grab hold of it. 2 and 3. So side 1, side 2. Now we chain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to go back into that same hole again with 3 more double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. And remember to try to hold on to that tail, otherwise it's going to get in your way. Now as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3 sides. You can kind of see it start taking form. We're going to chain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And in that same hole, we're going to double crochet 3 more times. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now we have our 3 corners. Let's put that behind us. We have our 3 corners, 4 sides, and 3 corners. Now in each one of our corners, we've chained 3 times. This time, to go back to our start, we're only going to chain 2 times. 1, 2. I found that when you chain 3, that extra chain just makes it a little bit more bulky, so to speak. So now we're back at the start. You can see it kind of starting to take its form into a square, and we're going to go into that top stitch, and we're going to slip stitch into it. Now sometimes this can be a little tricky, and you have to drop the yarn, and sometimes you have to go in one piece at a time. But you want to make sure, as you can tell, I've got the back loop is underneath my hook and the V is on top of my hook. So now we're going to slip stitch. We're going to pull our yarn through and pull it through there. And we've got our slip stitch. Now, when you take that out and you look at it, you've got your little square. You've got your foundation row. So now let's move on to the second row, because the second row is a little bit different. Basically the same, but a little bit different. So you're going to chain 3, 2, 3. Remember, that is your first single crochet or double crochet. And in that little hole that we just created, we are going to do 2 more double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Now on the first row, when we did the 3, we got done with 3, we chained 3 times. We did that because we were at the corner. As you can tell, we're not at the corner. Yes, we're going over to the corner, but this is not our corner piece. This is our side. So we chain one time. And then we go into the corner. Now when we go into the corner, it's 3 double crochets, 3 chains, and then 3 more double crochets. It's what I like to call the 3, 3, and 3. So let's go ahead and get our 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, 3. Now we chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and we turn so we can go right back in that same hole 3 more times. Our 3, 3, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we are back at a side, so we chain once. Go into the corner and do your 3, 3, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 3 chains, and then 3 more double crochets. And you'll notice when we're doing the corners, after your chain 3 and you go to do your next 3 double crochets, your work is turning with you. Back at the side, so we chain once, go into the corner with our 3, 3, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're back on the side. And on the side we chain 1. Now we're back at the start. Remember when we started this row out, we chained 3. We did 2 double crochets inside this hole. Now we're going to go back and we're going to do 3 more because we got to have it that uniform look. So 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Now because we're at the corner and we're at the starting corner, we're going to chain twice. 1, 2, and remember, go through the V. Like I said, sometimes it's a little tricky to do. I like to use my nails and just kind of get it on in there. Sometimes it's not so hard, sometimes it is. Pull that through with a slip stitch, and there's your second row. And as you can see, get that out of my way, as you can see, you've got a square. Now the second row is what you're going to repeat. So you'll chain 3 and then 2 double crochets here, chain 1, 3, and then you'll go to the side where you'll do your 3, 3, and 3. Don't forget to chain 1 in between each section until you get to the sides, and that's where you'll chain 3, except for at the very end you'll chain your 2. And as you can see, when you lay it down, move my yarn out the way, you got a beautiful little square. The tails, you just weave those in, and that's it. That'll be out of your way. The beauty about the granny square is, one, it is simple to do, very easy, and you can decide how big or small you want your project to be. So you keep going around and around and around until you just get to however big you want it or however small you want it. When you get to the size that you want, you slip stitch and then you yarn all the way through, or weave in your yarns, and that's it, you're done. And then there's your granny square.